inkaba yami ngingasho ukuthi born and bred la eMatshana. I-logo yasemhlathuze is no longer there because as per i-agreement eyikhona kwaba nokungaboni nasolinye, so hence you don't see i-logo emhlathuze, but you do see uKing Cetshwayo because King Cetshwayo is still assisting a team. Our chairman is very passionate about the CSI, which we must give back to the community. So as things that we're going to embark on, that's in the show with the Richards Bay Football Club. Lying akwazi ukusiza khona, ikwazi ukuthi ilekelele emphakathini. If we can get abantu abazoba brave enough to believe in the talent. If we believe in the talent, then we surely will make it. But now, if we have a talent but people don't believe in it, surely. But we must also commend the PSL for creating the enjoy MTC. Groundy, Ali Pasana test a Dima or PSL. Unfortunately, there's nothing Richards Bay Football Club can do. If the ground belongs to the municipality, and then the municipality took it upon themselves, bazolungisa the ground, and of which is Salindi.
Sibonga kakhulu baba ngokuthi usivakashele namhlanje. Thatha isikhathi sakho kwibhizi yakho, kodwa wakwazi ukuthi usipintshise kwishedule yakhe ebhizi. Ngiyaphileka kodwa.
No, I'm not so. Muthi baqala ngokubonga nje i-invite ukuthi nikwazi ukuthi nis-invite nibone isidingo sokuthi Richards Bay Football Club must be part of this podcast. Yeah, sisaphila mfowethu. Awukho singakhala ngakho umkhuhlane okhona kodwa-ke sidodoba singakhona.
Sesenzele umphakathi wethu nje ngoba phela i-Made in Africa i-podcast yomphakathi. Ke senzele umphakathi nje. Ubani uXolani Zungu? Ukhule kuphi? Ekhula nobani? Ekhula kanjani?
uXolani Zungu bethu umuntu okhona la endaweni eMatshana. Ngizalwa la ngangokuthi nedlozi ngisalithetha khona la eMatshana. So ngihlezi ngisho kubantu ukuthi umuva akusho ukuthi akuselwa seMatshana, even though umuntu kwesikhathi ngesiningi engaspend eMatshana, but ngoba I'm an African, I believe in ancestors. Ngoba okwamasiko kusakwenza la eMatshana kusho ukuthi kusewakho. Yes. But unfortunately umuntu ukhule ngekhathi, as you remember ukuthi eMatshana kwakungahlalisekene ngenxa yodlame. So umuntu wayemuva around for indaba yekole and so forth. Ngangokuthi at one stage umuntu wahlala eNgolezane, umuntu wahlala eSikhawini, umuntu wagcina ngokwesikole eSesebhey. Lana-ke esithena eSesebhey khona sakwazi ukuthi ngiqede isikole, ngifike kwi-matric engawenza eJohn College. Umuntu wasesuka lapho-ke through usizo lomama ongizalayo wasekwazi ukuthi akwazi ukudlulela nase-tertiary level. Yeah, but in short mfethu ikho ukuthi ungaze uyichaza kakhulu. Yes, ngala eMatshana noma ngingasekho khona, kodwa inkaba yami ngingasho ukuthi born and bred la eMatshana. Ngiyazi-ke khona ukuthi baningi abazoba raise ama questions abazothi mhlawumbe sengiyaclaim ukuthi ngaseMatshana noma kanti cha.
Hayi thina sikwazi kahle thina. Thina sikwazi kahle thina ngokusebenza abantu abaningi usube kumehlo abantu bemanje ngoba usuke eRichards Bay Football Club. Kodwa previously usebenze kuphi?
But mina I've worked eThekwini kwaMasipala la umuntu aqala khona getting internship. Uthebe esuka lapho, unfortunately asebenza nasemkhandlwini okusubizwa King Cetshwayo. Ngafika khona ku-2 washintsha kwa King Cetshwayo engeze ngawushiya ngo-2022, which is last year. I decided ukuthi hayi i-system. I've had enough of i-system. Mhlasimpe let me venture onto other field. Sengiyithola-ke last year on November ngala Richards Bay Football Club. But officially kwaba December.
I was so excited nami ukubona uMkhaya ekwi-team esezingeni eliphezulu kangaka edlala kwi-Premier Soccer League. Bekuveza laphana beku-unveila as i-brand manager, brand marketing manager ye-football club. Imaphi ama-responsibilities akho-ke?
No, as wazi ukuthi i-Richards Bay Football Club i-team sibe khona isikhathi e-Richards Bay kade dlala kulesigaba 2 NFD. So ke this season kade siyiqeda last weekend was our first season ku-top league okuyi-DStv Premiership. So ke njengoba ifika le, one of the responsibilities as a brand and marketing manager is to ensure ukuthi i-Richards Bay Football Club iyaziwa emphakathini, because uchairman always says ukuthi i-Richards Bay Football Club eyomphakathi. Hence, you'd remember ukuthi beginning of this year we made sure that we take a team to abantu emalokishini. So that's one of the responsibilities ukuthi in terms of i-team must be visible emphakathini. I-team also we must make sure ukuthi in terms of uheha ama-supporters amasha siyakwenza lokho okuyinto esiphezwayo. Also enye responsibility yami ukuthi I must go out and look for abantu abazokwazi ukubhekelele i-team, that is through funding and all that. Ngoba enye into eyenziwa Richards Bay Football Club, our chairman is very passionate about into ye-CSI, which we must give back to the community. So ezinye zezinto that we're going to embark on, senza sure ukuthi i-Richards Bay Football Club la ingakwazi ukusiza khona ikwazi ukuthi ilekelele emphakathini.
Usuzawuqeda manje u-6 months of the position. Usuyaqala usuyayifila manje. Khathi uyithola le appointment, ngicanga ukuthi ubunezinto nawe unama visions. Unezinto futhi ocabangayo ukuthi ungazenza ngale ndlela. Uthe mawufika eqenjini izinto kulo 6 months ukhona zisahamba ngale ndlela ofisa ngayo wena?
No, I'll be honest with you. Expectation yami was very high. Ngilo muntu lona who sets himself high standards, and knowing chairman wethu indlela passionate ngayo ngebhola, passionate ngayo nge-club, he's also a man who sets the bar very high. So ngangikulindele lokho, but at the same time I was not surprised and I was not shocked ngenxa yokuthi indawo sengasenza zona mhlawumbe enye ngayibalanga. At one stage, at a very young age, I was appointed as project manager of Salka Games at a very young age, and that position, I still tell people namanje ukuthi iyona position engikhandile, ngakwazi ukuthi kube umuntu okwazi ukumelana nepressure, umuntu okwazi ukunderstand ama-dynamics omsebenzi, nokuthi iyona position engiyithi ikwazile ukuthi ingisebenzise under pressure. So bengikulindele lokho, and ukhulu futhi ngisakulindele, because one thing you must understand when it comes to branding and marketing, you can never be certain that you've reached the ceiling. Every day it's a learning curve, and you must always know manje izinto have changed. Digital wise, kunezinto that you must always keep up, so you can't then say ukuthi no, I saying it right. So that is why expectation is very high, and abantu abaningi also abanye bangazela kakhulu kwamasipala, so they know what kind of a person I am. Uma into ngiyenza, I try my level best to give it all ngoba I'm also one of those people I'm passionate about sport. Sport game is not a by the way thing. That is why I even took time to study sport, because I love sport, I'm passionate about it, and ngiyathanda ukwenza sure ukuthi everything engithintayo that I must leave a mark. Ngenza sure ukuthi one day khona umuntu oyosho at one stage uXolani was here. That's how I live in terms when it comes to work.
I-podcast ukuyenza kwethu kwaba yinto yokuthi sifisa ukuhlala nabantu abanolwazi futhi labo bantu labo sifunde kuyona, and ngoba sibiza ngokuthi podcast yomphakathi sifuna ukuthi nabo abantu sibafundise. I-brand yethu nayo isencane, so ngiyacabanga ukuthi lo mbuzo engizokubuza wona uzosifundisa nathi uzosikhanda kakhulu. I-brand esencane, i-brand mayisencane usafuna ukuyikhanda, how do you develop it? Uyimarketa kanjani?
No, mina Mbombo, I always tell people ukuthi one ukukhulisa i-brand for me akusiyona rocket science. Into iqala ngokuthi one, you must know what you're doing. Like I said, a club, chairman has put up a vision for a club. Of which that's what also needs to happen. If you start into and you want to market it, make sure that it's up there, you need to know what is your vision now. And also you must understand into what you need to have a target audience. If you say a target audience so and so, make sure that you also have an understanding, allow bantu that you want to attract. Speak to their needs so that they can be part of that. More, if I can make an example, uma uzo create a product, yalabantu kumanye babizwa ama 2K, but uthola ukuthi wena into oyenzayo speaks different language to them, then you're not going to grow that brand. You must understand the target audience. This is what they want, and also be able to listen to the target audience. Advise now, that's how. And then you get that information, and then you sit down, and then you say, "This is what I want to target here. This is what they want." How then to make sure we vision it? We also incorporate young calendar. And then get slowly patch. And also you need to then say to yourself, you've identified the bantu, belokuzana, target audience, but also you must understand ukuthi ama channels also bathola ngazo attract ngabo, you know. Awukwazi ukuthi ufuna attract ama 2000 but usuthwena I'm not gonna market my product on social media. What 2Ks are there? So it's one of those things. It needs a bit of research. You think things out and then understand about dynamics also. If I want these people, this is where I go. It boils down to, and then uba nento eti, you must set yourself into a business, not necessarily a target, which is goals, because we're going to need a short-term goal, a long-term goal, all that. And then if your short-term market is 5 years, how then are you going to move from the first year to the 5th year? Each and every year, what you do in the assessment, did I achieve? Yeah. If we tell now we podcast, we're starting a podcast, by end of the year, we want to have, I'm just making an example, 1,000 about subscribers. And then, but then you need to sit down and then say, how are we going to attract this 1,000? You sit down with the team and say, how are we going to attract this 1,000? And then you start saying, okay, and then you push it there, slowly but surely. People, they do have interest in doing, but because it's just a strategy. Because you also need to develop a strategy. How do I get those people coming on board to then say, podcast, in the sense, it speaks to us, that kind of thing. You need to have a strategy. In the space of a year, you see the strategy was selected this year to make sure which I tap into this market.
Kuyenzeka ukuthi i-strategy ube naso bese usibona singathi siyafeyila. Kufane let's say assessment uyenze emva konyaka. Uma i-strategy usibona mhlawumbe after 6 months uthi kafeyila, kulungile ukuthi ushintshe noma afana ulinde ukuthi unyaka
I think lapho it differs ukuthi udila ngento kanjani ngoba that is why you'll find kwezinye indawo uthola ukuthi even brand companies they'll have into ethi quarterly assessment. But every after 3 months we sit down and then review ukuthi are we still on the right track? If there's something that needs to be changed, abantu with their own mind will tell the team, let's change. This thing is not going to work for us. Probably Q4, it will not make sense. So how then do we do that? And also, it says into which you must be open-minded. One thing we've learned from COVID was in a split of a second. So you have your plan, but make sure in between into which what if something. And I think with COVID, you need then to have a strategy or a plan with should anything like this happen. This is our podcast. You say to yourself, okay, we need to push out a podcast. Usuthi, let us always have episodes our file. Mangase kuthiwa ngelinye ilanga ugesi awukho for the whole month. Abantu ku YouTube balindele amalokhu episode.
Every Sunday
kune episode ekhona. So that's another thing. Ukuthi ngoba when push podcast uthi yazothini. Let us make sure guys in terms of recording sinawo ama-stories sazi ukuthi siyawa-archive uma kunenkinga ekhona and then abantu bekwazi ukuthi bebone. It's the same thing they do with ama-series or ama-drama on TV. They have a lot of stories ngoba benzela khona ukuthi should anything happen and then they so it's all about sitting down and then you sit down and think. But eventually, yeah.
Sibonga kakhulu ngale information. Ibaluleke kakhulu. Ngiyacanga ukuthi neqembu nalo lilalele liyezwe ngoba information ebalulekile le. Kuthe partner season kwi-Richards Bay Football Club. Partner season kwaba neyinkinga sathola nasemaphepheni about sponsorship umhlathuzi municipality. Ngiyafisa ukuthi sike sibe nento eyiqiniso esuka kuyo i-team ukuthi kwenzakalani nokuthi kubathinte kangakanani bona yona i-team affect kangakanani ukuthi ayisenaso sponsorship.
No, I'm glad lo mbuzo uyaqhamuka ngoba it's one of ama questions abantu abayibuza wona, but at the same time the most unfortunate part ukuthi abanye they take izinto ezikhulunywayo and then they think ukuthi they're the true reflection. I think chairman did address this issue. Yabo ukuthi mhlawumbe ngoqala ngento ye-ground did address it ukuthi i-ground aliphasanga i-test edingwa u-PSS. Unfortunately, there's nothing Richards Bay Football Club can do. If i-ground belongs to the municipality. Yes. And then the municipality took it upon themselves bazolungisa i-ground and of which sisalinde. And going forward, there will be talks between the chairman and the municipality in terms of the ground. But in terms of sponsorship, I am not going to dwell much on local sponsorship. But one thing, which is in the public eye, as you saw, with ilogo yasemhlathuze is no longer there because SP agreement corner. So hence you don't see ilogo mhlathuze, but you do see King Cetrai because King Cetrai is still assisting a team. And yeah, but is sponsor ungabikho kwe-sponsor whether you like it or not vele kuzoba naleyo nto ukuthi hawu but life has to go on as we know ukuthi ngaphambili asinaso i-sponsor but life did go on and working very hard in terms of making sure the team going forward in the sponsor. And enye into I want to share with Mobile team. Some people think ukuthi in the sponsorship is easy. We've seen on our page people complaining. Last week as ahleka khona wabhala ukuthi umsebenzi axana Zungu awukho akaxoshwe i-team ayina sponsor. But abantu need to understand getting a sponsor in this economy sekuyona it's very difficult.
Yes.
And also we must also understand ukuthi ukuba a frontline sponsor, kune certain amount that one needs to bring on board. Ngeke besithi ngoba nakho sidinga sponsor, you take so and so, come on board. Kune certain amount of which is expected ukuthi umuntu la ngaphambili will give us so much. So like I'm saying to you, into sponsorship is not easy as people might think, might see, but ukungqongqoza siyangqongqoza. And also ungasubuke le mali, if you remember very well growing up, ukuthi esikoleni niwe iform le donation, mhlasimbe buluyisela esikoleni usuku awu 3-4, because even la emgwaqeni ukhuluma nomuntu omdala at least akubheke noma 1 rand here. But currently uma ungasubuka ukuthi ingane manje mayicela ama donation, abantu don't have money. So and it's into eyaziwa ukuthi economically we're not doing well. So ezinye izinto zidinga ukuthi amehlo siwavule ngempela ukuthi i-reality ithi. But i-reality njalo, i-Richards Bay Football Club behind the scenes is working very hard to ensure ukuthi i-sponsor is there, because the team needs to maintain the status over with DStv Premiership. That's one thing.
Nama I can testify kuleyo yokuthi akulula njengamanje ukuthola sponsorship. Nathi njengoba usibona as a podcast, we've been trying usithola, we are still trying, but we're struggling. Even ngisho bebona ukuthi ya i-idea yeni i-sharp izosebenza, kodwa nathi as a company asimile kahle. Yeah, ama companies awamile kahle.
Companies currently they're not doing well, and abanye uthola bayathanda invest, but uthola ukuthi financially abantu ba stretched and there's nothing you can do. Abanye uthola ukuthi abantu who have an interest with football, but uthola ukuthi we are a new team in the DStv Premiership. Uthola already they've committed themselves kwenye ndawo. So ingakho it's a process. It's a process, and abantu must understand that behind the scenes we are working very hard. The chairman is also working very hard to ensure that sponsors do come on board. And mhlasimpe ukuba ukumaintaina kwethu the status, mhlasimpe abanye sizoqala bebona ukuthi into Richards Bay ikhona. Yabo mhlobo omunye usengabona lisa uyazi ukuthi lento ikhona, mhlobo omunye betshela ukuthi sizongena siphume, that kind of thing. Abukuthi if I invest here and that kind of thing, we don't know. So bona mase lokhuzana umuntu phela khona ensimini, who knows, we might not, but yeah.
Kule season i-Richards Bay ike yafukamela ifilimu nyama ethi Gwadlula uKapteni. Ngiyazi ukuthi kunzima nakubadlali bekunzima. Sesinjani sini campaign manje?
Yeah, mfethu sidlule leso simo sasingelula, and njengoba abantu bazi ukuthi kwadlula uCaptain wethu Sipepe, and the most unfortunate part, this whole thing yenzeka in full view of abadlali collapse, which was not easy. Ukudlula umuntu emhlabeni ngisho ngazothi uhamba emgwaqeni kukhona umuntu oshonayo ngisho ungamazi, but ukudlula umuntu emhlabeni, it's not something you take lightly. It's ukuthi ubani ushonile ndawo, you know. So it was very hard, and kwaba affect abadlali. You could see even on our performance, the performance yethu. But again, because we have a great leader in uMenziwe, our chairman, Jomo, he assisted all of us in great deal in making sure ukuthi if sibhekene nalo libhlungu linjalo, but singalifili alone, because every support, him and the CEO Mambiela, they did everything for the team to make sure ukuthi players, technical team, even the staff, everyone, yeah. And we can't fault them. They honestly tried everything, and it was a situation that's very nice and wababhlungu, and of which kumuntu odlalile sport, losing a leader will always affect you, because Usipepe was the captain who led the team from the Glad Africa to the Premiership. Unfortunately, walimala, and okubuhlungu kakhulu ushiya emhlabeni, he was getting back to form. Usipepe gave us igame sidlala Chiefs, I think it was March 4 if I'm not mistaken. March 3, March 4. He gave a performance we wouldn't tell ukuthi kanti lo muntu adelimele.
Ngakho igame yakhe yokuqala ubuya benobhanza.
Yeah, you're not game leyo wayesibalisanga, but you could see ukuthi he's coming back ku form, but unfortunately uNkulunkulu had the other plan and esingakwazi we-pace. Yeah, but khona it was hard and we are hoping ukuthi we will have strength. Not ukuthi simesicela strength sithi sifuna ukukhohlwa cha, but the strength to carry us to ngoba chairman even indicated we funeral yakhe Spepe ukuthi he would love ukuthi Spepe abe with us all the time, because for him, in fact, all the players bafana neingane kubiyena. So akekho umuntu angathi chairman no, this one no. Nah, it was even hard on him, his family, the CEO, everyone. It was also hard losing the player.
Abantu banama views ahlukene. Uthola ukuthi ngoba i-first leg i-Richards Bay performe kahle kakhulu. So basuke ama expectations asebaphezulu kubantu abangabalandeli nabantu ababuka ibhola. Balindele ukuthi mhlawumbe kuzoba izotholakala ku top 8. So uma uyigoqa le season that 2022 ungayibeka kanjani?
No, isizini lethu as ukuthi into Richards Bay ilandela, chairman has always been telling people ukuthi when the season started, what was the mandate to the technical team, to the players, to everyone involved. The mandate was very simple. Maintain the status. This is your first season in the top tier. Maintain the status. And luckily, because we were new kids on the block, I guess first round, Abantani did not really know our players and all that. That is why we did well. And you're quite right, expectation was created.
Yes.
But the expectation created Bantu, but the chairman is saying, don't forget mandate. Mandate, let us make sure we are safe this year. Ogunye, so hlala phansi and then we plan again. Of which, kwenzekile. We would have loved indlela umubu ukuthi sitheme sibuya after World Cup, nesibuya isizini ivula. We were sitting we bracketed top 4. At one stage we were sitting number 2. We would have loved that, but it would have been a bonus. But like I'm saying, the core mandate has been achieved by club, which is Richards Bay is safe next season. Next season we're playing the DStv Premier Soccer League. So that was the mandate. Yep. Yes, expectations were created, but the mandate is yep. Because that ilento edala confusion abantu uthola ukuthi you tell them ukuthi this is what you want to achieve, but it's human nature. Umwenza kahle umuntu uzothi why don't you go for it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And abantu why enye into ena move that they forget. Richards Bay Football Club we history with DStv Premiership is the first team to bring a bulk yabadlali bayo from Uclet Africa to Premier Soccer League. Most teams by win a team, but they don't play. Yeah. If you look at our team this season, we are playing with a bulk of players who took the team, and we must commend the chairman for that, because most chairmen don't do that. But the chairman was brave enough to say, "Boys, I believe in you. You can." Yeah. And that's another thing I want to not to but abayinakile ukuthi chairman must be commended for that. Chairman believed in the young boys. Believed in the young boys, what the young boys take me to the promised land, which is maintaining the status, you know. And we are playing with the young boys. We're playing with the boys that took us from Uclet to Premiership. Most teams don't do that. Most teams with DStv, they don't do that. Once bafika kule tier lena baqala manje izinto ishintsha. Yeah, so
kuningi nikwenzayo ukusondela kubalandeli ngeke ngikubone. Kodwa mhlambe if you can share with us ama-activities eniwenzayo as i-Richards Bay Football Club ukusondeza i-brand kubalandeli.
I think ngoba isizini iphelile vele sisazo recap and all that and then bese sibuka ukuthi esikwenzile last season kuyenzile impact ngoba you need to sit down and assess ukuthi okay ukwenzile kuyenzile impact and then where can we bridge the gap. But okwenzekile this season the chairman is happy ukuthi one you remember ukuthi or not that you remember but very few teams with DStv Premiership would go to a township directly township engage with people, players sitting with people, having a chat, having food with the public. Very few, but we did that. Saya Eskawini, Saying of which people plan we still gonna do that. Because you want these players to feel we are for the community. When they don the jersey, they must feel but there's community behind them. Yes, we do have amalocals and as ama plans as season the chairman will outline the plans and everyone will get to understand this is what we need to do in the upcoming season.
Yeah, ngoba nje ngisanda kunibona nase Sunderland.
Yes.
And ukuncoma nje singabatshela futhi ngaze ngabakhombisa i-billboard. Ngangiqala ukubona i-billboard ngokungena kwakho abonzayo sekuyoxanisa khona i-billboard man umsebenzi omuhle lo. Ngicabanga ngale genge le yama 2000 le generation entsha le ikhona i-strategy sokubenza ukuthi befike ema-groundini ngoba le genge yamanje la ama 2K ibhizi kakhulu ku social media.
No, we do have locals. It's strategy sokuthi one if sibuya we need to have a strategy. How do we make sure that each and every game sidlalayo is packed? And we'll sit around with the team, devise a strategy. This is how we're going to approach abantu ngoba you must understand that football has evolved. It is no longer about players getting onto the field. Ball, that's it. We must also make sure that we create into a sort of entertainment. Umuntu ethi ukhiphile lo 60 rand wakhe but even for manayithola ukuthi azothini I did not only watch soccer but kunanezinye izinto akwazi. So definitely we'll sit down and then sibone ukuthi what can we bring on board because truth be told ziningi izinto engenzeka but we need to sit down and then say if the chairman is said, they said, guys, go for it, and then we do that because at the end of the day, we need people to come to the stadium.
Yes.
Whether we're doing well or not, but we need people to come into the stadium, and we are going to intensify into it. The time team ingenzi kahle, iyayidinga the 12th man. Guys, you're not alone. We feel your pain. The time team yenza kahle with the fans behind them, they even go for more. So that is why we need to make sure that each and every game esizoyidlala noma ikephi sidlala senze sure ukuthi abalandeli sinabo. That is why chairman made sure ukuthi le season ephelayo uma dlala eKingsway team he would always bus abantu ama-supporters to his stadium because like I said, chairman is passionate about football, is passionate about the Richards Bay Football Club also. And also passionate about the supporters because he knows which supporters they play a role. Enkulu role edlala ama-supporters. So ingakithi into enjengalezo I can assure you ukuthi we will improve immensely in terms of making sure ukuthi abantu they come.
Ukukhandeka kwama-branch khona kuhamba kanjani?
That's another thing ngoba you must understand ukuthi Richards Bay, with DStv, and also we want to make sure that we attract abantu esizoba convince ukuthi forget about so and so. 9 yasekhaya. So that needs energy and the intensity towards yona ukuthi lalela-ke mbongo siyakwazi ukuthi usupport ubani but ke manje nansi into yasekhaya yabo and I can assure you ukuthi sizokwenza lokho kwenzeke futhi sizokwenza kwenzeke sit down and come up with into ezo appeal kubantu ukuthi okay this makes sense to us yabo ngoba kunabantu abasupport ama-team angazi abavakashela enhloko yabo so umuntu kumele understand understandise ukuthi why uncamela ukusuka la ugibela eThekwini yobuka lo team ngalelo la thina sila yabo that kind of thing so yeah but we will intensify this njengalezo and make sure ukuthi as we grow because at the end of the day it's not about growing the brand. Growing the brand it's not going to take us a year usibone sesila because you must understand it's a process and I know what abantu are excited but abantu they also need to understand it's a process.
I-jazz mfethu i-kit itholakala ngike ngaba nenkinga baze bafika kumina bezobuza ukuthi manje lapha awunayo inamba yacela manje sifuna i-jazz wayehamba futhi eThekwini ethi ngiyafuna ukufika nje ngigqokile wagcina engatholakalanga so ngagcina nami ngisele lapho nginombuzo i-jazz litholakala kanjani.
No, i-jazz belitholakala kusisi senza naye uThandeka. Akhona amanokhuza ama-post wevamise ukufakwa kwi-page lethu Richards Bay Football Club ngoba we do have social media pages which is Twitter, your Facebook and also Instagram.
Angoba nama-handles akhona
at Richards Bay Foot FC. Okay. Yeah. So sike ukuthi bebufona and then uthola ije but ke engicanga ukuthi izo zonke izinto kube season phela sohlala phansi sibuka ukuthi silenza kanjani libe easily accessible to abantu.
Ulibona kanjani ikusasa lebhola eSouth Africa looking at i-performance kwi-AFCON nje under 17 ibingeyinhle neze ngicathi njengamanje under 20 World Cup eSouth Africa yikho so ubona kanjani i-future nje yebhola leSouth Africa?
I think in terms of future sinayo ne-talent futhi sinalo eSouth Africa. We need into ethi if we can get abantu abazoba brave enough to believe in the talent. If we believe in the talent, then we surely will make it. But now, if we have the talent but people don't believe in it, surely. But we must also commend PSL for creating enjoy MTC. Well, that's where the talent is, and that's where most of our players are also being identified. And uzona kuzothi mekuqala isizini our team has worked about a couple of players who have been promoted from but now the equation is promoter uzodlala no DStv ngoba enye into ile ukuthi you might see talent kumbombo but I feel njalo hleze benchini so ingakithi you need umuntu who would say Mbombo I believe in you. No, Mbombo must believe in himself to make sure ukuthi uya strive of giving an opportunity kungabi ukuthi phela hayi give me first team ukuthi and that's it yabo so it's also upon our players mengase sizama ukuthi now so educate so I understand ukuthi if you given an opportunity please make sure that you grab it by both hands yeah over yes surely the state of under 17 under 20 asijabulisi and ibona abantu phela labo esazi ukuthi if those countries do well, if those age groups do well, siyazi ukuthi national team kusho ukuthi probably in the next 3-4 years national team is strong yabo that is why amanye amazwe aseAfrica umubuka manje uSenegal abadlali abaningi manje squadini uzokuthiwa awayidlala under 17 AFCON wadlala under 20 World Cup yabo so that's how and also it helps a player knowing very well ukuthi uhambe through the process yabo and uzothi mefika kwi high level When I understand it, it's okay. This is how I need to perform this. This is what is expected of me.
Iyiphi i-impact ofuna ukuyishiya lapha kwi-Richards Bay Football Club? Your legacy nje ofuna ukuyishiya.
No, like I said in the beginning, I honestly do not work on it which I'm leaving a legacy. What I always say which I want to perform the duty anyway mina to the utmost best. If the chairman gives me a duty, I want to make sure which I do not let him down, I do not let the team down. Yes, umuntu akwazi legacy ukuthi mhlasimpe ami sehambile so useyokhumbula ngokuthi I honestly don't like it because angiyena umuntu othanda ukuthi abe ku forefront. I love my work, I love working, but I always try my level best angisebenze and ngoba ifocus enkulu it's on club. Ifocus ekusebadlali nokuthi so let we can do whatever activities we do, but let's make sure that those are the people we focus on. But at the end of the day, I would love ukuthi ngithi uma kwenzeka ngingasekho Richards Bay. It would be nice mesihlangana chairman or CEO uthola ukuthi in one of ingxoxo esixoxayo uthola ukuthi bese yakhumbula ukuthi yakhumbula senze into ukuthi to me that makes ukuthi okay kusho ukuthi ikhona impact engayenza akufani ukuthi awuqala wafika ayisangabona ukuthi wenze that kind of thing. So it would be nice ukuthola ukuthi uma usungasekho but sithi kuthi maxoxa yabo
bethi ngikhumbula ngalela la
ngijabula.
Ngicela nje ukubuza lo mbuzo ke kukhona qala thina siqala lento yebhola kokukhona ama PRO. May his soul rest in peace, Alex Godfrey. As a brand and marketing manager, ne PRO, ukhona umehluko yini umehluko phakathi lezi zinto zokuthi
Ukhona la kuhlangana khona but kuhlukene.
Oh, okay.
Because PRO would understand ukuthi is more of a public relation. So PRO in most cases would deal with the touching on the supporter. That is why in other team to communications manager. To little abantu abadila into ama supporters and all that. But when it comes to ngoba a PRO is not expected ukuthi ngelinye ilanga ahlala kwi-boardroom akhuluma into ukuthi ufunele club a sponsor or who's driving a certain program. So yeah, kodwa khona la nokuhamba kuhlangana ngoba I will not be pushing into a brand and marketing without the supporters. So we need to then say my supporters let us and also them, bring them on board and understand what's going on. Khona khambe yabo ngokuphela umsebenzi hamba bekhona la uhlangana khona, but futhi at the same time it is not one and the same thing.
Lana kwi-podcast sinale culture leyo ukuthi ekugcineni umbuzo wokugcina kube umbuzo oba personal. Wasuba mka. Hayi owethu umbuzo uthi what was the happiest moment so far in the happiest moment
in my life?
Yeah, so far. Ngoba ngiyazi phela sisazophila mfethu so far.
I think in my life the happiest moment was the 10th of June 2014. That's when my firstborn was born. We had gone through a period with my wife, but I'm not going to dwell much on that. But that day, having to hold my son, and which is something I never thought I would have, I think that it tops everything. I was happy with the second one, but the first one tops it all because I still have vivid memories of what happened. That is why we captured every moment of that, because it's something that will live with me forever. when we say theatre, after a C-section being performed to my wife, and I was with delivery room, and then when they tell you, come see your baby, it tops it up. I
feel it.
yeah, it's you won't erase such moments. It's one of those things I would forever cherish that. I'll cherish it for days, for years, for decades.
Hayi bonana ngisho ekuseni. Hayi sibonga kakhulu mfethu for your time. Ngifunde kakhulu and we are fully behind the Richards Bay Football Club mfethu. Team yethu, we are the Natal Rich Boys, and I wish you all the best kule season ezayo. Performance yenu ibe yinhle, and hopefully izothi phela nayo nobe senikwazi ukuthi nidlalele Richards Bay, so that kuzoba lula nakuthina ukuthi sifike.
No, but nami ngiyadlulisa ukubonga from Richards Bay Football Club, sibonge invite, witness invite, and like you said, we appreciate each and every support we get. We know what it hasn't been easy. Our results before end of season were not forthcoming, but abantu were sticking with us. Yes, abanye were frustrated, of which we understand. That's a beauty of sport. Our emotions, they get high, they drop. That's a beauty of sport. And but when we are not doing well, and then you get people saying, guys, we are with you. That keeps us going. And we appreciate each and every comment that is made on our social media platforms. It's so unfortunate that we can't respond to all of them. I always tell people, I don't believe what we comment better on social media. We sometimes look at those comments and then say, let us up our socks, because for me, the day you stop ukufunda, because you must learn each and every day. The day you say when I'm so right, I think that will be the day you don't know what to live. That is why for me, each and every day I'm learning. I've taken time, I do research, because I've worked with sport, but I was working with different sporting codes. So I need to understand the language of football, the culture, everything. And I've taken time to learn that. And, and each and every day, I always tell myself, I need to learn something. Yeah. Namu Zalana has taught me something, because the world is really shifting focus. If you look at now, our podcast that we have, and people seem to be loving. And this will also assist us in terms of brand the Richards Bay Football Club to say, let people see, and then we move from there. But all in all, thank you very much.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Ngiyacanga ukuthi episode 2 next season mayisiqalile uzoba khona.
Xolani.
Yeah. Hayi, ivale mfana.